shall not mourn till war is done.
A weary paladin strips equipment from the bodies of the dead, singing softly to himself. He looks you up and down, then nods a greeting.
Oh, pity you just arrived. We could have used adventurers like you in that last fight. We're short-handed, deserters, if you can believe that. Abandoned their post and wandered off into the wastelands. Left their friends here to die. It's shameful. We think alike, you and I. See the captain, adventurer. He'll put some work your way. I shall not mourn till war is done. I shall not weep while blood still runs. I'll hold my tears when weeping comes. Who shall avenge you, darling one?
By Lucian's sword, dwarf.
When weeping comes, who shall avenge you?
Be careful on the road, stranger. You're safe enough in here, but past the bridge you're on your own. We're doing well enough for now. We've lost many a man to death and desertion, but we still held the bridge. Not amongst paladins, it's not. L.A.W, Gale, and Hellis Jubb all left their posts. Fortimere too, I suspect. Gone to serve a friend, they said, and maybe that's true. No matter. We'll fight the Voidwoken with what we have, and we'll win. Guy Falchard and Lord Godfrey fell in the last melee. The Voidwoken will be back, be sure of it. Beyond the bridge, the world has gone to hell. The Magisters are out there now, hunting down a sorcerer. Although I suspect it's the other way around.
They beat all those Voidwoken. I'm impressed.
Sighting a stocky paladin seated ahead, Ifan tugs at your sleeve.
This one I remember. Hardwin and I served together back in the war. Let me do the talking.
The two men embrace, amicably enough, but you sense an uneasy tension running beneath their smiles.
Well, as I live and scarcely breathe, if it isn't Ifan Ben Mesd. I thought you died in the death fog. Thought you died a hero. But I suppose it's better to live as one. We really gave those Black Ring what for, eh? Wiped them all out in the blink of an eye. Damned proud to have served with you, Ben Mesd. Damned proud.
Ifan's face turns sour as he mutters something under his breath that only the paladin can hear. Hardwin loses all camaraderie and blanches, stepping backwards. He puts one hand on his weapon.
You've changed. And for the worse. I'll not have the sacrifices of my fallen brothers maligned to my face. You survived, Ben Mesd. Be thankful for that, if nothing else.
A senior paladin sits hunched over a tattered map. He registers your presence, sits back in his chair, taps his fingers on the map.
Who are you, and who sent you?
He appraises you with a look, then grimly grins.
I think I've heard about you. Didn't you free the Meister from the gallows in Driftwood? Then I may well have a job for you, if you're interested.
He taps a finger on the map on the table.
Here, in the Black Pits, are White Magisters. Their operation is shrouded in mystery, and this pricks our ears. We are gravely concerned. We believe the White Magisters may have strayed into the darkness. We suspect that Dallas herself and her master Vriedemann are the inspiration for these dark endeavors. Look under the white veil of secrecy and report back. How much do you want? I have fewer paladins to pay, so I have ready gold. But there are limits.
He breaks into laughter.
Done! And cheap at the price, too.
He offers you an item. A whistle-like device sits nestled in your hand.
When you're ready, send a war owl. Be careful out there. It's a dangerous place these days. And I'd like to think I'll hear from you again. And, adventurer...
He looks you in the eye.
Don't get caught.
Running off, like the farm being savage.
Last time I was here, I summoned my wolf right in the tavern. All hell broke loose. Good times. Good times. I wonder if they'll remember me.
As the Magister's eyes alight upon you, they widen until they are practically bulging out of their sockets. One tremulous finger rises from voluminous robes and points right at you. From her other hand dangles handcuffs.
Ifan Ben Mesd is our living breeze. I don't know how you got free, but it'll be back to the joy with you, and no mistake.
One eye squints, the other bulges out even further, as if to compensate.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you.
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over while you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you,
Bring cherry lights at home.
keeping it together, Reed. You're safe among friends.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mez.
Mine. I need aid.
The carved figure is a resplendent sight in this ramshackle village. Your touch creates a ripple across the mosaic, as if it were water and not stone.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
My word, but you do look exhausted. I bet you could use a touch of magic. Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together?
Yep.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit you, ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Back for a return visit. Have at it. Got yourself situated.
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Yep.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse
You needing
over here
supplies?
than a dozen
With
rotten
anything more?
eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Until later, then.
Than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
Glad to see you well. Anything more?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Until later, then.
How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
Go ahead.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Well, don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your ton, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. How you holding up?
Not in any mood to talk about it.
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tunnel, who will?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Keeping it together, Bree?
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it. Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
Then don't come over. Not like you're buying anything.
If I don't come visit your tunnel, who will?
That's it. The barrels and the chests. On the double.
By the seven, these sacks weigh like lead.
You two
It's a disgrace I have to toil like this. I'm a magister, not a damned silent monk.
Don't let up now. Keep hauling that cargo. Go on, you mute sacks of flesh. Put your backs into it. I'll not lose another day to the tide. The Lord Dread awaits. Its sails billow with Dallas's breath.
The Magister stops, barking orders. He sniffs the air like a predator, turns to face you, the wolf eyeing the deer.
You do not get to make that decision. That decision is mine. A good day? Let's talk about a good day. Tell me, have you ever been strung up by the hands? Your body swinging like a bell's clapper as your bones are being broken with cast iron rods? We do cruel things unto others and unto ourselves because we must.
He licks his lips. Dry flesh turns wet.
See, I'd like to string you up too. Rack you with rods and leave you dangling over a puddle of your own blood and piss. Oh, no, that won't do at all. Innocence is a mask that doesn't fit you. I'm very good at what I do, see? I don't even need a sauce hound yapping at my side. There was a whiff of something in the air when you approached. A current of filth, that is to say, sauce. Best convince me I was mistaken.
He leans in closer and sniffs the air once more.
Interesting. So I was mistaken. Must have been ambition I smelt on you, not the magic that dare not speak its name. Very well. In that case, we'll forego the gallows and turn straight to the hunt. The very definition of your order's existence. Seems peaceful here, doesn't it? A quiet day in a quiet town. One wouldn't think these drifting woods toss on dwarf-troubled waters.
but they do. I'm quite capable, but as you can see, I'm also preparing to set sail. And who will deal with them when I'm gone? Consider for a moment the dwarf. What is he? What are you, A mule? A beast of burden? But some defy that role. There are rats among them, dancing to their rat queen's tune. I've need of a rat catcher. Of course, I must depart post-haste, but Julian here will stay behind and be a good little parrot. Ask and he will answer.
Stay behind? But I've my orders. Same as you. Dallas.
Like I said, Julian is staying. And with that, I must be off. No hard feelings about the death threats, of course. How about we part shaking hands instead of stringing them up?
For a few moments his hand hangs motionless in the air, then is withdrawn with a swift and determined finality.
Hard feelings it is. I'll remember. The time has come, my stitched little lovelies. We set sail. Get on board and man your stations.
The Magister is rubbing...
You! The supposed source hunter! I'd be whining and dining aboard the Lord Dread if it weren't for you. Your meddling in Magister affairs had better be worth it. A man of stature wouldn't be moored on a dock with no one but dead fish for company. But here I am and here you are. So, to business. Now answer me. Did you meet with a Magister caravan on your way into town? The hour's growing late and I'm beginning to worry something might have gone wrong. By the bishop's bones, you saw it? Out with it, man. What happened? Voidwoken. That means source was used. Which means some third party must have attacked first. And I've a fair idea who that might have been. Raymond, that old goat. Always suspected there's more to the Driftwood dwarves than meets the eye. Hate to admit it, but I think he may be right. Too many things have gone wrong along Reaper's Coast to attribute to bad luck. Magister ships sinking, weapons disappearing, and as you've seen, a caravan attacked and destroyed. Rumour has it the Dwarvian Queen herself is behind these acts of sabotage. That is what I want you to prove. There's a local thug, L.A.W. He runs an operation out of his hideout beneath the Black Bull Tavern. I suspect this man of being a spy for his queen.
It may be interesting to have a word with him. Find out what he's up to. Where I really want you to ferret around is Reaper's Bluffs, to the west of Driftwood.
It's wild territory, remote and hostile, where I believe the dwarves may have set up a base of operations away from prying eyes. Should you find any such place, and better yet, proof that L.A.W. is working in behalf of Queen Justinia, you will be handsomely rewarded, I assure you.
They've always been snakes in the grass. Cheap labour, sure. And hard workers, too. Half of them are their queen's spies. Her eyes, her ears, her poison-pouring hands. You know what Queen Justinia is like, surely? A tyrant and a master strategist to boot. In that case, go forth and let the hunt commence!
I hope Joe doesn't. Hello, mister.
The little boy looks at you. He picks his nose.
You be careful. My daddy's a magister.
No, he's not. His daddy's a fisherman like most daddies round here.
They stare at you in disbelief. Then they start laughing.
You're weird. We're waiting for our friend. He went for a swim. He'll be back soon.
He went swimming all the way to Fort Happy.
Fort Joy?
That's what I said. Fort Joy. He's going to find his mum and bring her back. Cool. How did you know that?
Mister, have you seen our friend Joe?
Tell them the truth about Joe. They have to grow up sometime.
What they don't know can't hurt them. Don't...
Kids are resilient. Tell them the truth.
The horror grows on their little faces.
No, that's a horrible thing to say. I bet it wasn't Joe. I bet it was someone else's leg in that icky shark.
She bursts into tears. Ben looks from you to her and back again, then starts crying too. After a moment, the crying subsides. Ben and Harriet snuggle into you.
So where's Joe?
They look puzzled, but the little boy seems to accept the idea.
I think we should go home. Come on, Ben. Thank you, mister. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, mister.
They skip away, still children, but now, somehow, older than before.
You're safe among friends. Never forget it.
East, Marketplace. West, Driftwood Fishworks.
Magisters dropping left and right.
A most vile incident. A valiant warrior. You have interrupted my newest masterpiece.
The bard clears his throat and gargles on his own saliva. He then returns to his poem, but his voice cracks mid-verse.
Well, never you mind. Every sonnet I compose is a masterpiece, and my muse has been begging me to write something new. Wait! You might be just the stimulus I needed. I shall craft a rhyme for you and your race. All I ask in return is a handful of coins. It's an offer of a lifetime. Fame, notoriety, neither, or both. The thing about a good poem is that it wiggles into the ear. People think it's just a catchy rhyme, but it changes minds and hearts, for good and for ill. Magnificent! But if I am to write a first-rate work, you must face some difficult questions. Are you prepared to answer?
He stares at you for a few torturing moments.
Interesting. Most fellow dwarves prefer drinking chants to the fine art I offer. But I see it. The redness of your nose, the lilt of your gait. Drink can get the better of you, yes?
Stew is good, if you're thinking of eating.
He smiles a crooked smile and runs a hand through his greasy hair.
Not that I could judge a dwarf for his drinking habits. After all, the kingdom is a shadow of its former self. Who is to blame for its collapse? Oh, amazing, isn't it? That so many of us must beg for scraps while royalty feasts on fresh meat and grain. Condemn our queen.
The bard hems and haws, then bellows his next words to anyone who might hear.
To all lovers of verse, I bring glorious news. I have completed another modern classic. Listen now, and bask in its resounding refrain. Raise a glass and praise the dwarven race. Who'd let nary a drop go to waste?
Is the greater good?
Stew is good. A frothy pint of ale. And then a flask of whiskey for the trail.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
With surprising agility for a woman of her age, she reaches over the bar and swings a hand toward your face. You brace yourself for the incoming blow, but she instead points her finger into your face.
We don't speak of His Holiness that way in this establishment. I am a humble child of the divine, no more. My boy Niles has gone and made something of himself in Fort Joy, but we don't pretend to be anything but what we are. You're welcome to drink here, if you like. You beastly thing! I abase myself serving a dwarf, and you reward me with that filth. Stay away from my bar, you hear? This is a civilized establishment.
Tarnished banner.
Even a smaller bit if it bit you on the arse.
Raise a glass and praise the dwarven race. Who'd let nary a drop go to
That
waste?
did fine.
A sip of rum, a frothy pint of ale.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that. Nothing like a glass of the good stuff to smudge everything into a pretty shape.
She slides another glass of ale toward you. Its contents sparkle in the dim bar light.
Bottoms up. Cheers to you, me, and...
Her gaze swivels around the room.
Damien's dull knife. This place is horrible. Never mind. Cheers to you, me, and me again. Another. Psh, give me one good reason. Look, you don't need to do that. You don't need to... Look.
She shows you the 2 swollen, angry red welts on the underside of her arm. She slaps them without finesse, making herself wince, and stares at you intensely.
I know how to make it better. I can fix it, all of it. I'll tell you.
She jerks her arm away from you and gazes lovingly at the welts. She doesn't look up as she speaks.
There's this woman. I'm not crazy. And if she kisses you, she can change you. She's downstairs. And And now I'm different. It's in her lips. It's in the magic. I changed the right way. And then, I think now I'll be fine. You understand how, sometimes you just want to be fine. That's just it, isn't it? That's just it. You ought to go see her. Dorothea. She can help you. She did me.
She looks at you earnestly, her eyes gleaming, the twinkle of the amber ale behind them.
I seem good, don't I? Yeah, I do. Hey, Rudy, Nova.
You've got enough in front of you.
They got nothing to us. Raise a glass and praise the Dwarven race.
Finally! Your colleague over there is absolutely useless. I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please. Oh, pity. I've been trying to get a little something to eat all day. But the giggleheads who run this establishment don't seem to be willing to provide a fellow with his fair portion. After all I've been through, too.
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you expectantly. His lip trembles dramatically.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. He was killed by those void beasts. I told him we ought not to travel in the hills, but would he listen? No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more than Lucian's right ring, lost to the beast-infested wilds, and the waiter won't even bring me any stew. Ah, then perhaps my luck has changed. Yes, perhaps this awful business might soon be behind me. Tell me, how are you in, Voidwoken? Ah, terrific news. Then what I ask will be little more than a trifling. My mentor, Liam, and I were hauling in a goodly number of fine wares from the Southlands when we crossed paths with a great brute of a Voidwoken. It made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. I'll do anything to get them back. Of course. We'll, discuss the specifics once you've returned. Now, give me your map. I'll show you just where to look. I doubt those beasts out there have any use of such a cargo. I can't tell you how thoroughly you've made my day. Good luck.
Within her gilded manor, and dares to wave her tattered, tarnished banner.
Hold it. Papa no, you no go.
He grins, unpleasantly.
Lohar didn't tell me to let anyone of your description in, so why should I? Yeah? I'd get used to it if I were you. Nobody'll be sucking your fingers clean round here. Hey, back away from the... Might be your bones to make up down there later. You won't be walking. on now. Go on. But watch yourself. I've got friends. Plenty of them.
I've spotted something.
Look at that. A fresh face. Stout and sturdy. Just how I like my dwarfs.
Ifan approaches you, a drink in his hand and a wide smile on his face. He clearly feels at home in this grimy place.
Want a drink?
He grins and hands you a drink, full of good cheer.
It's really been some adventure so far, eh?
Ifan's eyebrows raise, and his cheeks colour beneath his beard.
I'd say the same about you. I'm never lonely when you're around.
Ifan smiles, shyly. It's not a familiar expression on his rugged face. He inches closer to you, so close that you can feel the heat of his body warming you. You can smell his scent, wild and animalistic.
You're incredible.
He reaches out one scarred hand to touch your face, gentle as can be. Trembling, he smiles. Closing his eyes, he moves to kiss you too. Noise erupts in the under-tavern around you as patrons cheer and clap your affectionate moment. Ifan meets your eyes and laughs softly, pulling you into a bear hug.
Let's try this again sometime, when there's not quite so much company.
He squeezes your hand and winks, only moving away when he sees your answering smile.
Good to meet you, Governor. What's your poison, Dan? A sip or a smoke? Aye, so it is. But not just any Druidnay. Oh no, my own special blends. Further down's the arena, see? And the gladiators are always on the lookout for an edge. I give them that edge. You could say that my darling herbs flower in the flesh and blossom in the brain. So, if you're interested, Governor, all you have to do is use your imagination. How can I make you bloom? No problem. In return for a reasonable donation, that is.
Effie digs all kinds of outlandish herbs from out of the depths of many pockets and mixes them with the patience and skill of an alchemist.
Much obliged, Governor. And here's your blend. Just take it to that big beauty of a pipe over there and have a blast.
Smoke billows from this strange contraption. It's adorned with hoses, levers and slots.
Heaven save me. This leaf is strong.
Mercy, mercy.
quite right. Do see...
What do you want? Boss is busy. Loha, you've been living under a boulder. Good. Boss could use some good news. Listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be respectful.
Not no more, she ain't.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This...
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anna? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper. Bart, Cade, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You better have a damn good reason for coming here.
We ain't gonna keep you around much longer.
The battered dwarf pulls her lips back into a garish, open-mouthed grin, flashing blood-stained teeth.
Brave lad, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me. If you don't already know the answer to that, I reckon you don't have much to tell me.
He winces loudly and holds a hand to the bandage on his side. The large red spot in its centre has grown larger and wetter.
Leave a wound alone and it'll patch itself right up. Longer it takes, the less likely you'll let it happen again. If it won't heal, then it's your time to go. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy? I've got to say I'm impressed. I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meister Seaver's people. You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all? That's so.
He leans back and narrows his eyes, looking you up and down.
You know, the order's been going on about Godwoken for an eon now. Voidwoken's still lurking, though, and they're still hauling folks off to the Joy. So if you are who you say you are, what's the point of you? Ah, I should have guessed.
What's got into you? You're one of us. How could you do it? us. How could you do it?
You're making this much harder than it needs to be. I heard rumour Mordus is working for the Order. What say you?
One of us. How could you do it?
You're making this much harder than it needs to be.
And it just so happens I can help you. Depending on what you can do for me.
You're one of us. How could you do it?
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's going on. And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him, see if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy. That'd be up to him, wouldn't it? No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own. Well, like I said, Mordus is a special guy. A sorcerer, matter of fact. Maybe even one of the ones Seaver's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my word with him. Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind, really. Good luck.
You're one of us. How could you do it? What's got into you?
Watch 'em fight. Right good to see you again, Governor. Take all the time you need. Pleasure doing business with you, Governor. Just say the word, Governor. What are you after?
My good sir, I see that you accompany no other than His Royal Majesty, the Red Prince. I have a message for him of quite vital importance, if you'd be so kind.
Of course he'll be so kind. Speak freely, kinsman.
Directions, my lord. I was bid to send you to none other than Bramos the Wanderer. The greatest of all dreamers was waiting for you here, my prince. But...
He looks around the hazy room with hasted eyes.
The House of Shadows stirs. The Honorable Bramos sensed them closing in. He had no choice but to flee from Driftwood. A little ways east he went, in search of safety, to an encampment of paladins. You will find him there, Majesty. And with that, I have told my tale.
Indeed I am. We will follow your directions. You have my thanks, kinsman.
Prince of Princes, I am humbled and grateful.
He bows deeply before the Red Prince, as reverently as one would before a god.
Hail, darling. Call me Dorothea.
She draws close. You feel her breath on your neck, hot, moist.
Oh, yes. I have something that you want. But I only bargain with those I deem deserving. Those who have accomplished great things. Are you worthy of my gift? Indeed? This is acceptable. You are nearer the one than most self-described heroes I've known. So, tell me, are you ready for me to grant you your greatest desire? I can't. Not yet. First, you must look into my ring and tell me what you see there. Gaze.
She flashes her ring at you, and you stare at the luminescent stone at its center. You are floating on a current of pure source, surrounded by a kaleidoscope of colors and fuzzy images. On the horizon looms a dark silhouette. As you approach, a beam of light washes the shadow away, revealing to you...
Yes. I see you clearly now. It is power you seek. To conjure maelstroms and command the light to drive away shadow. I will fulfill this desire. In return, I ask for one thing in return. A kiss.
Dorothea sighs, a fusion of a kitten's purr and a cockroach's clacking.
For me to help you, our souls must touch. And a kiss brings our souls closer, does it not? It shall fulfill both your desire and mine. Most delicious. Meet me around the corner, and come alone. An audience is not required. Your friends should leave. Your friends should leave.
Dorothea sees you and heaves a shuddering sigh. She bites into her lower lip with enough force that a drop of blood seeps out. Blood and something else, something green.
Darling, I admit I wish we could share more carnal pleasures. Yet I think a kiss is the height of intimacy. Now come closer and receive your soul's desire.
You draw closer and close your eyes, eager to feel her lips on yours. Yet her lips do not press against yours, and her hands do not caress your face. She is a woman no longer, but a were-spider.
Is mine. I'm ready.
Is mine.
You thought it was over? How unfortunate for you. You see, I came prepared for the occasion.
Down for a little scuffling and tussling? Let's see if you got some fight in you. That's the spirit. But I've got to tell you, you probably want to see Murga round the corner before you draw blood. She's the champion, and she's fair particular. She'll want to talk with you herself before she'll assent to any challenge. Watch well. You better start, Kelly. On your way, then.
Good gods. Is there a void woken down there?
In the shadows, a dwarven woman spits obscenities,
More fodder for the arena. Let Murga the champion test how good.
curling her torn lip back over broken teeth. She grabs your hand and pulls you down to the ale-soaked...
Who in their right mind would keep a void woken locked up like this?
Smells worse over here than a dozen rotten eggs dropped in a vat of vinegar.
They don't come over. Bellwether, I need those reports, Captain.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red-cloaked baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe. Enthusiasm? On a weekday? My word. We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the matters kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will not be too technical for you. You're to push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whirl, taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand. Feel free to look about while I catch my breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
Weird contraptions.
And try not to break
This
anything
place
in
is
the
an
meantime.
Arcanist's dream.